What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have some very interesting news, but take everything that I'm going to tell you guys with a grain of salt because things are subject to change depending on availability for this certain character that you see on your screen. Now, the person that you are looking at is very much Tom Welling, aka Clark Kent, aka Superman, aka The Blur. Now, we all know him from playing in the Smallville series back in the day, which ran from 2001 all the way up until about 2011, I believe, or 2012. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because he has been, questioned thousands and hundreds of times, a number to where I can't even possibly fabricate. To be honest, he's been questioned about this a lot, let's just say, and people want to know basically, is he ever coming back to the CW? Is he going to appear in this Arrowverse? Is he going to do maybe his own spin-off show on another network? People want to know what's going on because we love this character. We grew old with this character. Some of us that's well in our 20s and, low 30s, such as myself. I grew up watching Smallville and I grew up being a fanboy of Tom Welling, and aside from the Smallville series, he has had, decent appearances in other films such as, Cheaper by the Dozen. He appeared in that Fog film, and he was currently on Lucifer, and he played Lieutenant, I believe his name was Pierce, and he was also playing another character from Lucifer's past, his brother Cain. Now, we all know that Tom Welling is well into his like early 40s, 41, 42 to be exact, and he still has the physical build to where he can do stunts and everything like that. Now, suiting up into an actual Superman suit is probably the most debatable question because we don't know if he still feels like he should wear something, of that manner, with tights and the underwear over. We don't know exactly what his version of a Superman suit would actually look like because, with him being in this time period, them casting him and him, reprising his role, is it going to be that older version of Superman, like a Christopher Reeves kind of thing? Is he going to wear, the spandex and the underwear over? Or is he going to wear something similar to Henry Cavill or that of Tyler Hoechlin? You know, that is the main question. So he has given us a bit of information. So he has said, in this past, I believe, Comic Con, I believe it was Armageddon Comic Con or something like that, or Planet Comic Con, one of those where he has appeared. We know that he is currently at one right now. He is scheduled for the whole weekend instead of just appearing on Sunday. But he is scheduled for somewhere, and they're discussing the whole Smallville and, the current Arrowverse series, and where he is subject to appear. So he has said, you know what? Screw it. People are going to keep asking me. I'm going to finally give them an answer. So he is rumored to be on season 8 of Arrow. There is no confirmation of what kind of character he's going to be, if he's a recurring role or is he just, a permanent character for season 8. We don't know. That's all we know is that he's going to be on that. Now, as far as the Crisis goes, we're not exclusively sure if he's going to be on the Crisis or not. As I said, they had this, scene where you see a particular amount of Smallville verse characters, which were, presumably dead in a ditch, and when they had that little flash between, I believe that was Earth 98, I think, where John Wesley Shipp's Barry Allen had traveled from. Now, when they showed that, it was a whole bunch of heroes that were dead, and you can see the Green Arrow version from Smallville series. You can see the Martian Manhunter from the Smallville series. There was a Hawkeye and Hawkman and Hawkgirl from that series as well. and other characters in that ditch as well. I mean, that ditch, excuse me. But as I said, those could have been just teases for something, or they could have been concrete. It could have been something for real that is possibly going to be visited one more time in this fall's finale of the whole crisis. Now, I, for one, want to see Tom Welling back in the verse because he is one of my favorite characters. And I would love for them to expand on the Superman story from his time period. Now, the complications with him coming back into this time period and possibly playing Superman is, people want to see the story develop because they don't want to just put him into a position in which we already have an established Superman in Tyler Hoechlin's version from Supergirl. But there could be different versions, ladies and gentlemen, because this is called the multiverse for a reason. So Tyler's version could be very much different, and which is kind of different from Tom Welling's version. And with them bringing back Tom Welling into the fold, they can possibly just give him the golden age Superman, or maybe like a Kingdom Come version of Superman or something like that, because he is of age. He's not super old, but his Superman took place, back in the early 2000s. Tyler Hoechlin's version didn't appear until about 2017, I believe. I could be wrong about the date, but you guys know where I'm getting at with this. Tyler's version didn't appear until several years later, and his version is tied into Supergirl. Now, Tom Welling's version has connections to a whole bunch of characters. And that's one reason why I love the Superman, in the Smallville series, because Smallville introduced us to all these characters in which we have now, but they expanded on their stories back in Smallville. Currently, we have a bunch of characters and there's not enough story for them to, be developed. And this is what happens, to these characters, in which why they go through these certain changes or they're taking back seats. For one, look at Martian Manhunter on Supergirl currently. Like, come on, man. That's just like a stab in the back to that character. He is so much stronger and better than what they depict of him on the show. And back in Smallville, he has had a great story, great connection with Clark. And speaking of Martian Manhunter from the Smallville series, he has said he was going to return in the Crisis. So, that might be a wink wink to him being Martian Manhunter, from the Smallville series. He just reprising his role, and that'll be great. And I love when they do that, bring back old characters and, plant them in our current Arrowverse, but with that kind of situation, they might change it. So, which brings me to the thought, what? With him being on Arrow, what character could he possibly be on Arrow? And seeing as this is season 8, I'm speculating, let me just say that real quickly. I'm speculating that maybe he goes on Arrow and doesn't be Superman, but what if they change his character entirely? What if they cast him on Arrow season 8 as Bruce Wayne? What do you guys think of that? Do you think that is a possibility? Let me know in the comment section below, because I, for one, am going to tell you that personally. I didn't hear any other YouTubers say this, and I told you guys my, affiliation with other YouTubers and how we chat about this stuff. And I haven't, for once, heard anyone mention this aside from myself. Now, as I said, he can very much be Bruce Wayne because this is season 8. The show is going off the air after that, we don't know if the characters are all going to just meet their demise or if they're just going to, just be left as a cliffhanger, for something, or continue on into other Arrowverse shows. But as I said, with this being season 8, being the last season, I don't think they will put him as Superman on Arrow for a non-purpose, Maybe he's going to be Bruce Wayne. Not Batman, but maybe Bruce Wayne, because the name has been thrown around a lot of times. There has been a lot of references to Batman, and maybe that's going to be like the CW's gift to Stephen Amell. You've done a great job, and Tom Welling has very much passed the torch on to you, and now you're going to pass the torch on to Grant Gustin, which Grant, he's definitely our star role in the Arrowverse, and maybe he'll open up, with other characters and make more connections like that, because we do have the Batwoman series, which is going to be, taking place in probably 2020. And we still have Black Lightning, so they could sort of make that connection and push them into the Arrowverse as well. But as I said, this could be like their gift to Stephen Amell. You know what? We're going to give you Bruce Wayne. We're not going to give you Batman, because technically you are the Arrowverse version of Batman, even though you're Green Arrow, but it's kind of like the same character, So we're just going to give you Bruce Wayne. You guys will bump heads a couple of times, nothing too serious, And if they want to tease like Batman towards the finale or something, Green Arrow finally meets Batman, and Batman appears from his long, vacation that he has been on. That'll be something. That'll be something great, and this will be good to see how Tom Welling will be able to, pretty much broaden his horizons on doing this kind of, different character than one he's never done before, And man, that is some great speculation. It's hard for me to, format some words for you guys, but I feel like there's a possibility he could be playing Bruce Wayne. Now, as I said, take everything you hear with a grain of salt, because things can change, but we do know that he is confirmed to appear in season 8 of Arrow. It has not yet been confirmed about Crisis on Infinite Earths, but as I said, they did tease the whole Earth 98 with like Smallville characters dead in a ditch, so it's possible that maybe he came back because he was either lost in time or something, or he just wanted to find out what was happening with the world or something. I don't know. It's crazy to think about this kind of subject, because we're not super close to Crisis or anything like that, but we're getting teases about season 8 of Arrow, and this is the reason why I made this video, because I just wanted to touch on that kind of subject and talk about it and give you my thoughts, my insight, give you a little speculation here and there. And as I say, I think personally, in my opinion, he could be playing someone other than Clark Kent. Now, as I said, for reasons, because the show is going off. Once again, I'm going to say it, it's going off the air. And we do know that there's going to be like future tie-ins with the whole 2040 situation. But as I say, this could be him just paying off something. You know what? This will be my last appearance. Maybe I want to come and back and be Batman or something, instead of being Superman. And then, a possibility he could appear in the Arrowverse crossover, and he could still very much be a different character entirely. He doesn't have to be Superman, but if they follow the comics, far as with this crossover, there can be two Supermans, from different Earths, because it is a multiverse, we'll just have our Superman from Earth 38, and maybe Tom Welling's version could be from like Earth 2 or something like that, or Earth 3, maybe come from Jay Garrick's Earth or something like that, where there are Golden Age, superheroes. But with that being said, I am going to end this video. That is all I have to say. Hopefully you guys understood everything I explained to you. I tried to, get the best words to say about this kind of subject, because I'm almost left speechless, just almost. But yeah, just let that sink in, the thought of Tom Welling actually coming back into the Arrowverse and, either reprising his role as Clark Kent, aka Superman, aka the Blur, or, something entirely, Bruce Wayne. Let that thought just sink in, and then just let me know what you think of it, because it's possible, Who says that he has to continue in the footsteps of Superman? Because we already have a Tyler Hoechlin version. We have that Clark Kent slash Superman that we all know and grown to love, currently. Even though there is still a large hate group that hates Tyler Hoechlin's version, but I love how he played both versions, and I loved his appearance in the Arrowverse, considering the fact that they kind of weakened him a little bit. I didn't like that part of it, but him just playing these two personas is perfect for me. Considering he's come from Teen Wolf into now he's playing an iconic superhero. Not only just a superhero, he's playing the Clark Kent version. And I just love it. I love his acting and everything like that. I love it. But as I said, I grew up with Tom Welling, and this is who I wanted. I was extremely devastated when this series went off, knowing that it ended in the way that it did, and then there was the whole speculation about him not wanting to wear the spandex, which is why I say, that's the question now. If they put him back into the Arrowverse as like a golden version, golden age version of like Superman, the older version, is he going to be wearing, the suit, or is he going to come back wearing what he's, what you see on the screen in front of you, this leather jacket with the insignia on the chest. You have the blue shirt, you have the color scheme going, but it's not the suit, But is he going to wear something like this, or is he going to wear something similar to what Tyler Hoechlin's wearing, Henry Cavill, or is he going to wear something like how Brandon Routh had in the back of the, back in the day with the spandex and the underwear over, that kind of situation. But it's something to think about entirely, as I said, once again, hopefully you guys understood me breaking down this information to you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel right now for more videos like this. You're going to need those updates, and I'm going to try to provide you with as many updates as I possibly can as they come out. So make sure your post notifications are turned on. Hit that bell, hit it twice. Make sure you see the air quotations above the bell, and smash that like button, because we all know that you guys are fans of my channel. You like the content of my videos, even if it's not the best quality. And we know you are fans of, Tom Welling in the Smallville series from back in the day. Now, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.